doing its thing. It's spinning, and it's looks like we are live. I don't know if that's going to have an impact on Twitch. We will find out one way or the other. Go ahead and add in the Diablo screen itself. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. It looks like, at least from Twitch's side, y'all are still live. And I can highlight Twitch comments. Ba 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 ba. So that's really what I was wanting. That's exactly what I was wanting. I didn't want it to mess with you guys, and I wanted it to be able to highlight the Twitch chat as well as the YouTube chat, and I have been successful in my mission statement there. So, all right, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and dive on in. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Brian and Chris here, and today, if you're watching this as a highlight, you can actually probably go out and pre-download the closed beta for Diablo 4. Our first topic is going to be everything we want to know about the Diablo 4. You have to pre-order to get into this one. Next weekend is going to be the open beta for all. And so our main topic for the start of today's show is going to be talking about Diablo 4, the open beta focus. And then we're going to talk about some Destiny if there's time. The open beta details might end up taking the whole show. And if we don't get to our Destiny discussion, we'll be sure to follow that up for you guys here as well. But before we dive in, Chris has just completed like a massive speed run. What changed? What approach did you make to your strategy for the latest deep dungeon run that we were all kind of watching before the show went live? Because you were flying through it.
So a lot of it is just like the sheer amount of knowledge that happens. Like if you've ever watched like Lamatod raid and he's like having a conversation and he's talking about like his favorite cereal and whether or not he played pinball as a kid, and he's in Savage on a job that he doesn't normally play and he's not getting hit by mechanics. A lot of that is just like sheer repetition. So at this point I've seen the 1 to 30 monsters so many times that I know exactly which all ones do. And I know which ones are problems on their own, which ones are problems when combined with other ones. So that plus having more Aether Pool. My Aether Pool's in the 30s now. So I spend the vast majority of my run synced, which means like I'm at the max power. So it doesn't really hurt that bad to pull. So I can take on 5 or 6 things at once as long as I don't get hit by mechanics. Which means that as I go, I'm kind of just anything that's in my way, I'm just kind of counting up like how many monsters I have, because I have to kill a certain number to get to the next floor anyway. So I'll pull in the first floor, in the first room, if that gets me to a chest faster, and I'll just drag that guy with me all over the level. So by the time I get to the key room, sometimes I have like 5 or 6 things chasing me, and I don't care. So like that makes it a lot faster. That I basically don't really, I kill everything in like 1 or 2 pulls. And I have no idea if that's just tank privilege. I only intend to do this on my main job, which is Warrior, which happens to be in a really good state for solo level 90 clears. Just because Warrior is God mode at self-heal and AoE pulling. So, which are the 2 skill sets most valuable in Deep Dungeon. So that's what made me faster. And then just like recognizing how to take the best advantage of each Pomander. The Pomanders this time are really fun. They're really fun. I don't know Heaven on High and Palace of the Dead that well, so maybe they're always fun. But I can tell you that Eureka Orthos is just really fun. Like the mobs have a chunky amount of life, but as soon as you get comfortable with what the different mob knowledge is, and as soon as you have a decent bank of Pomanders up, which because I tried doing some 21 to 30s yesterday to farm up Aether Pool. I'm just not there yet. So I'm doing 1 to 10s really fast. So that I have a bunch of Pomanders going into the later floors.
Excellent.
So that's where I'm at. So I've learned a lot. I'm still nowhere close to what people who are actually good at this do, but like it's amazing how much better you get, and it teaches you. It's the first piece of content that feels like it's there to teach me to not be sloppy.
Okay.
Sloppy. But it does so in a way that like it rivals something like Delibram Regine, where like if you are sloppy, you're not hurting somebody else.
Yeah.
You're just doing your own thing. And so like I really liked Delibram for that same reason. I felt like it encouraged me to be another player, but it didn't force me to be another player. Normal dungeons don't encourage me to be a better player, and Savage punishes me if I make a mistake, and it punishes everybody if I make a mistake. So I'm really enjoying Deep Dungeon. I think Deep Dungeon's a better rotation and like mechanic learning tool than the Stone Sky Sea Air. That doesn't mean it's good. Like, we could still go a long way as far as training tools in the game. But the fact that there's like actually mechanics messing with your rotation, and then the fact that the mechanics are easier to dodge if the pull doesn't last as long, obviously. Yeah. And so what that means is when I mess up my rotation, that now makes the pull longer. So I'm substantially more aware of when I break a combo, because I'm like, dang it, that's that much longer that this pull is going to last. So between the timer and the mechanics, I really want to be better at my rotation, at least my like 1, 2, 3s. So I like that. I think Deep Dungeon is making me a better player.
That's great, dude. And congratulations on your progress so far. Chris, for those of you who don't know, he's gold to clear on the latest Deep Dungeon. And I'm gonna kind of go out on a limb and wonder if you actually have a really good time with this. Are you going to perhaps attempt the other Deep Dungeon solo clears as well?
I wasn't sure how this one would be tuned, but I had my goal for this year. On my goals for this year, one of my bonus goals was to go and complete any of the Deep Dungeon solo, any one. Because I'm playing so many MMOs, and like New World's got a huge patch on the 28th.
Dude, yeah.
10.1 looks enormous for World of Warcraft. Destiny's got a plan in front of them. Guild Wars got a plan in front of them. I predict 6.4 in Final Fantasy will be here May 23rd. I just don't know if there's time for another one. But like, I'm definitely not saying no because I don't want to do it. I'm saying no because it would just be a question of like, where does it fit in my life? Because I think a lot of it's memorization. A lot of it is looking at a monster and knowing what they do. And so I think there's a real advantage to saying like, oh, I'm not going to do one attempt every other Tuesday. It's like, no, you really want to sit down and just focus this until it's done. Because I think you really, like, as much as it doesn't have burnout. So I broke it up. Like, I did some custom deliveries earlier today. I did a little PvP today. So like occasionally I just kind of break it up between runs because it's a long time to spend in one place.
Yeah.
But I still want it to be the primary focus of what I do as far as like a gamer every day that I game until it dies.
A couple of things like from dates, because you brought up obviously like New World's patch on the 28th, which kicks off their first major update of 2023. Also coming up on March 31st, the network test for Blue Protocol goes live for that weekend. This upcoming weekend, next upcoming weekend is Diablo 4 closed beta and open beta, and that has a launch of June the 6th. So like in terms of gaming and content, things are absolutely heating up. And like you and I have both completed the campaign for Destiny 2. I believe I'll be stepping in with the bear on the raid, the Nightmares raid, which came out this weekend, and looking forward to getting a clear within that. So like, yeah, it's like, it feels like just like boom, boom. We had like a little bit of a slowdown period, and now things are starting to heat up for 2023.